Overnight, smokable hemp laws changed in Texas, and let's just say the vibe is not high energy today.
The state announces bans on more technology. Some of your go-to sites might be off limits on campus.
There are a couple of sort of grittier images that I did include, so it kind of shows, life on the road is not that glamorous, even though the enduring image of Selena is a glamorous one.
A new exhibit shows a new side of a Chicana artist.
Is this local TikToker finally achieving his dream, or is he in for a prank?
Hi, and welcome to this edition of Bobcat Update. I'm Haley Thompson.
And I'm Hunter Mancuso. State lawmakers had a contentious fight over hemp products last year, including a rare disagreement between Governor Greg Abbott and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick.
Right. At one point, Abbott vetoed the bill that Patrick led through the Senate, but in the end, they agreed and passed a ban on smokable hemp. It was legal earlier this week. Now that's up in smoke. Reporter Dax Lawhon shows us the change.
On March 31st, a new Texas rule has changed what THC products can legally be sold in stores. I spoke to some San Marcos businesses before the ban took place, and they told me it could force popular items off of their shelves.
I'm screwed. The business is going to be shutting down, roughly, I think so.
Really?
Because of the hemp products are going, all my sales going to go down. There are no new products on the shelf, so I got no options. Rather than selling some nicotine vapes which are legal, other than that, I have nothing.
Under the new rule from the Texas Department of State Health Services, regulators will now measure total THC, which includes THCA, a compound that converts into THC when heated. That change means many smokable hemp products currently sold in stores may no longer be legal.
I buy up to a pound every time. I buy a lot. If they just made it legal, it would be safer, they would make money, it would it's not stopping anyone. It's all around the corner. I can find a plug for just about any drug, at any time, any day. It's not stopping anyone from getting anything.
Before this law passed, they used to get it from the cartels black market. So they said they're going to go back again to the cartels and black market.
While edible THC products like gummies are still allowed under Texas law, smokable hemp products like THC flower have since disappeared from store shelves across San Marcos.
No one really buys the edibles because, to be honest, the THC edibles kind of suck. They suck ass. And most of the people coming here aren't coming here to buy glass. Usually, they usually just come here to buy smokable stuff and nicotine. So the places that mainly just make all their sales from the THCA, they're definitely going to go out of business.
80 to 90% of my customers, they only come for the THC products over here. Everything is going out of the shelf right now. That's all I can say.
Following March 31st, San Marcos businesses and Texas State students alike are watching closely to see how the changes affect the local hemp market. With Bobcat Update, I'm Dax Lawhon.
There was another dispute during last year's legislative session. This time, it was state lawmakers disagreeing with President Trump. The president asked states not to regulate AI tools. Texas was not having it. Lawmakers here passed the Texas Responsible Artificial Intelligence Governance Act. It doesn't ban AI use, but it takes aim at malicious uses of it. The law bans AI tools that intentionally steer a person to hurt themselves or somebody else, tools intended to violate the Constitution, AI intended to cause discrimination, and AI tools made just to create illegal, explicit material. One more state law to talk about, and this one directly affects us right here on campus. Lawmakers banned a bunch of software tools with links to China. Then the governor added more to the list. The worry was that our data going to Chinese government could be a cybersecurity risk. Reporter Gisela Morones talked with an expert.
Texas State University students and staff are adjusting to a new set of restrictions this week after Governor Greg Abbott signed a bill limiting universities and other public institutions from using Chinese-based technology and websites. Among the platforms now off limits are several widely used sites, including Moonshot AI, Temu, and Shein. The ban is even reaching into the classrooms. One course taught by Texas State professor Dale Blasingame relies on a Chinese-made program used specifically for drone instruction, and that tool is now restricted as well.
I'm much more worried about the federal restrictions that are going on around DJI because they have the capacity to cut off the network from the drones. If that happens, that would mean the drones can't fly. That would mean they can't update, things like that. That would mean the class, I would need all new equipment to teach the class.
Journalism students won't be the only people affected by these restrictions, but the entire campus could feel the impact as well. University students are well known for scrolling through online deals, and many of them turn to popular sites like Temu and Shein when they're hunting for a bargain. Nevaeh Johnson, a sophomore at Texas State University, says although these new restrictions won't affect her day-to-day life, she does not agree with how Governor Abbott is implementing them.
I feel like there is bigger things to worry, like seriously, there's bigger things to worry about and address, especially in this moment.
So as students settle into these new rules, folks on campus say they're just trying to figure out what their life looks like without some of their go-to apps. For now, everyone's adjusting in their own way. Reporting from San Marcos, I'm Gisela Morones, Bobcat Update.
We've been showcasing Bobcat sports for you this semester: basketball, softball, baseball. But last week, Texas State made history at a game, not on the field, up in the broadcast booth. Caden Basent and I got an up-close look at the first ever Bobcat baseball broadcast in Espanol. History was made at Texas State University during a midweek baseball game against the UT-RGB Vaqueros. The School of Journalism and Mass Communication partnered with World Languages and Literatures and Texas State Global to bring the university's first ever Spanish language broadcast to KTSW. We spoke with an SJMC professor who played a key role in making the broadcast happen.
This is historic, and frankly, I'm thrilled and also a bit nervous. I was asked by my chair, Judy Oskam, if I'm interested in doing it, and I said, yeah. I don't mind rolling the dice every now and then. I said, let's do it. You know, one of the things that we do here at Texas State really well is called experiential learning. We do all these wonderful things in the classroom, but then we take the students and put them out in the field. And that's exactly what this is.
For many of the faculty and students involved, it was their first time going live on air, opening the door for more opportunities in future Spanish language broadcasts.
It's an amazing opportunity. I've watched baseball for about half my life, and I don't know, I just feel like it's a great bridge to cross to just have English and Spanish as a broadcast at State University.
During the fifth inning, Texas State President Kelly Damphus joined the broadcast, spending part of his birthday in a live interview. He's hopeful this won't be the last Spanish language broadcast at Texas State.
And I would like to see every game, and not just baseball. I think our soccer team, I think there's a lot of interest in soccer, and I'd love to see our football games broadcast, and not just radio, but also in television as well, in Spanish as well, because we think a lot of people in Texas would like to fall in love with Texas State, and what better way to do that than through athletics, and be able to listen to it in your own mother tongue.
Texas State student Jesse Ramos, a Spanish major, says he hopes to be part of more broadcasts in the future.
I had no experience with broadcasting before, but I feel like making the opportunity mine, and so I did. Moving forward, I want to see if this opportunity can keep going for other sports like soccer, football, maybe even swimming. Any other sport, any would be an amazing opportunity to be able to broadcast it in Spanish.
This next Spanish language broadcast is scheduled for late April, and there's a possibility it may just be the beginning. Hey Haley, did you play basketball?
It wasn't really my thing. My apartment just turned our basketball court into a pickleball court too.
Well, a bunch of our neighbors tipped off their own March tournament, 2 points and 3 people at a time. Reporter Mason Lusk had a courtside seat.
On Thursday, March 26th, in San Marcos, Texas, Hillside Branch hosted their second annual 3v3 basketball tournament. The tournament brought out all kinds of athletes, some even being from different countries. The tournament provided pizza, chips, and drinks to all of the participating players. The winner even received a cash prize. One player, Jace Jowers, said, quote, "I just wish people were more aware of all of the exciting and inviting opportunities for young people to participate in here in San Marcos. There are truly so many when you look beyond the surface." Another player, Andy Langler, said, quote, "I live for things like this." San Marcos has so many exciting opportunities for young people, just like this one. And Hillside Branch's second annual tournament did not disappoint.
The Whitliff Collections, a museum of Texas history, is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year, and one exhibit is bringing the most attention to its galleries on the 7th floor of Alkek. It's a tribute to a celebrity we lost 30 years ago. Reporter Kimberly Olivas takes us inside the Selena experience.
Nearly 3 decades after her death, Selena Quintanilla Perez continues to inspire fans all over the world.
Texas State University is honoring her life and legacy with a special exhibit at the Whitliff Collections titled The Selena Effect. Hector Saldaña, the music curator for the Whitliff Collections, shares his thought process while putting together the exhibit.
Everything in there is intentional. The enduring image of Selena is someone that's always smiling, right? Happy, perhaps dancing. But we have some images in there where she's somber, maybe a little more serious, that I thought, wow, she looks like deep in thought, maybe even a little bit melancholy. And then there are a couple of sort of grittier images that I did include. So it kind of shows, life on the road is not that glamorous, even though the enduring image of Selena is a glamorous one.
Ma Clara, a student worker at the Whitliff Collections, highlights how the exhibit has helped him connect more with Selena's legacy.
I thought it was very monumental. We definitely needed her in this exhibit, and it just kind of is good representation of her work and also those who helped her as well. She gave a voice to people who didn't really have that voice.
The Selena collection is open to the public until December 6, and visitors are encouraged to stop by the exhibit and celebrate the life of the Queen of Tejano music.
She permeates the pop culture, and definitely where at the time she was the Queen of Tejano, now she's gone way beyond. That Selena effect will continue to grow, and it will reflect that there was some sort of inner light in this artist known as Selena that will continue to shine.
There's always something going around campus, including at the Meadow Center. Speaking of, how do you feel about the documentary with no dialogue?
I don't know about that. I think I would need to watch it first, but I did hear there was a great turnout at the screening.
We have that in mind of we want this to inspire generations of people.
An award-winning film screens in San Marcos.
People united will never be divided.
From chants to protest signs, San Martians raise their voices on the square.
A campus celebrity known for going viral maybe just had his biggest social media moment yet.
Three, two, one, booster ignition, and liftoff. The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon.
A crew of 4, 3 Americans and a Canadian, are now farther away from Earth than anybody else has ever been in the last 53 years. Artemis II lifted off at 6:30 on Wednesday. It's on a 10-day mission all the way to the moon and back. The astronauts will test systems they'll need to try to land on the moon on the Artemis 3 mission set for next year. Hundreds of thousands of people made their way to state capitals, parks, and prominent landmarks on Saturday.
They were taking part in No Kings protests all around the country, including right here in Central Texas. Reporter Natalie Munoz covered one here in San Marcos and has a look at others from our news desk. Natalie?
Thanks, Haley and Hunter. Like you said, there were protests all around the country. One of the biggest was the one in St. Paul, Minnesota. The Minnesota rally was considered the flagship of all the No Kings events because of the turmoil in the state over the last few months. The Minnesota State Patrol Office estimated 100,000 people turned out for this rally. Many of the signs made reference to Immigration and Custom Enforcement, or ICE, which was responsible for 3 different shootings of the civilians there. More than 100,000 people turned out for the No Kings March in Boston. The band Dropkick Murphys performed and a number of local politicians took the stage. This is the 3rd No Kings Day protest since President Trump took office last year. On the West Coast, 40,000 people gathered at Waterfront Park in San Diego. Signs were criticized the war in Iran, ICE, and executive overreach. The aerial video really gives you a good idea just how many people were there.
People united will never be divided.
And thousands of people spent Saturday afternoon in downtown Austin at a local No Kings protest. They started at City Hall, then marched across the South First Street Bridge to the Auditorium Shores. Multiple bands and local activists took the stage and led participants and chants. The Austin event ran from 1 to 4 in the afternoon and ended with guidance for how to interact with immigration enforcement. And of course, right here in San Marcos, hundreds of people spent their Saturday outside the courthouse. Reporter Elizabeth Hernandez and I got out there for a look.
This past Saturday, the small businesses who usually sell outside the courthouse were not alone this weekend. Some were surprised to find out about the No Kings protest was happening at the same time they were scheduled for business, but they did not seem to mind.
Everybody's been pretty nice coming in, and we really haven't had any problems or anything like that.
A lot of protesters brought more than just signs to show their frustrations and concerns with the current administration. They brought costumes, instruments, and the flag of the United States of America.
Freedom and justice for all. God bless America. That's the reason I bring a flag, because it doesn't make sense to me when I am being accused of being not a patriot.
Step Up San Marcos and Move Texas at Texas State were the 2 organizations that were hosting the protest. Both organizations focused on safety and nonviolent tactics while they were conducting the protest, preparing for any emergency possible.
We have fire marshals on scene, and all of us know what stores and restaurants have approved to let us in.
Cafe on the Square is our safety points, the Blue Dahlia and the LBJ Museum. Yeah. So if anything were to pop off, basically we disperse. We try to get people out of the way and into those areas.
There were no counter-protesters during the official hours of the protest, but some supporters of the administration and the president did appear after hours, interviewing remaining protesters.
Yeah, I totally disagree. I think Trump and his administration has done the best they could for us as American citizens by being American first.
The No Kings protest in San Marcos may have ended for the day, but the conversations and calls for change continue to ripple through the community. For now, the message remains peaceful and determined as organizers and participants look ahead to what's next. For Bobcat Update, I'm Elizabeth Hernandez.
That's all I have from the news desk, guys. Back to you.
Thanks, Natalie. That wasn't the only gathering in San Marcos on Saturday.
The Meadows Center hosted an event to remind people just how important Spring Lake and our rivers are to the community. Reporter Kimberly Olivas talked with the producers of a documentary that screened at the center Saturday night.
On March 28th, the Meadows Center for Water and the Environment hosted a free outdoor screening of the award-winning documentary Yacona, which follows the story of the San Marcos River. Jeffrey Brown, one of the film's producers and an organizer of the event, explained why they chose to partner with the Meadows Center.
It's a collaboration with the Meadows Center. We're at the headwaters of the river, so this is the ideal place. And the film's been out for a while, and we wanted to organize something for all the new people coming in town. We have new students, the city's growing, and it's a healthy reminder of the importance of the river.
Miranda Wade provided more insight into the planning behind the event and all the local partnerships involved.
This is a partnership, the event, put on by first Tuesday, which is they'd show documentaries in town at the Price Center. And then the directors of Yacona. And then San Marcos River Foundation is a partner on it. And Eyes of the San Marcos River is also going to be a part of it. One is to celebrate World Water Day. We also host a monthly Family Fun Day, which is a free families activity. And so we're combining the two events.
Despite taking place on a Saturday night, the event saw a strong turnout, with community members gathering with blankets and friends. The evening also featured a panel discussion before the film, where those involved shared their experiences bringing the story to life. One of the film's co-directors said the project was always meant to have a lasting impact.
We have that in mind of like, we want this to inspire generations of people. So it's kind of crazy. We now have a screening like 12 years later. When we were crafting the film, Paul Collins, the other director, our intention behind it was for it to live with the community for as long as it's relevant.
The screening acted as both a celebration and a reminder of the role the San Marcos River plays in the community.
If you follow President Danfus on Instagram, like a lot of us do, you may know about our next story already.
Right. For months, a student has been inviting other students to join him at the climbing wall on the wreck. But all along, the plan has been for him to climb with K-Damp. Well, this was no April Fool's joke. It finally happened. Reporter Lillian Nichols got over there.
This past Wednesday, on the 1st of April, students skeptically gathered at the wreck to see Texas State President Kelly Danfus and Climbing Club Secretary Chet Marlowe, the organizer behind the entire event, reach the top together.
I can't believe it was so informal, but I just talked with K-Damp through Instagram DMs at the moment, which is just crazy, just talking to the president of Texas State University. But yeah, I sent him a big long text on March 8th, and I was like, hey, I want to do this event.
Chet had been posting videos of him climbing with strangers he found on campus in order to garner the attention of the president. And after a little over a month, the event was finally confirmed.
He was the one that sent me a picture of his schedule, and he's like, April 1st? And I was like, that is perfect.
Ted, you giving him talk?
Huh? Once he got to like 7 or 8, I think he reached out to me at like 7 or 8. I said, once you get to 10, let's do it. All right, that's good. All right. Okay, stage is on. And then he said, when do you want to do it? I said, how about April Fool's Day? And so I think he was surprised I showed up. So.
Since taking on the role of president, Danfus has made a point to emphasize his efforts to connect with Texas State students on a deeper level.
I don't want them to think it's weird that a president would like follow them on Instagram, or that would come, if they invited me to go do something, I would actually show up to it.
From Bobcat Update, I'm Haley Thompson.
That's pretty cool that the president actually made time to join him for a climb.
I know, right? That student's feet probably still haven't touched the ground yet.
Nice. That's all we have for this edition of Bobcat Update. Thanks for joining us.
Watch this space for more news by students for students. We want to leave you with something a little unique. Some of our classmates got to visit an Austin TV station, KXAN, this week. We want to thank the news director and others for being such gracious hosts, including a former couple of Bobcats who are there now. Here's a look at the visit, and we'll see you soon.